Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Day of the Video Done. How's it going today? Today, we're heading on into work again. We're going to be early. We had to bus down today. The floor's wet, which isn't good for longboard bearings. Even though I'm buying new longboard bearings soon, it also flicks water up at your feet, so you get dirty, like your shoes and the bottom of your trousers get dirty, and therefore I decided it best to just get the bus in, you know. And it's horrible as well because Laura went out at like 5 past for the bus. I went out at like 20 past and got on the same bus as her. And then you sat on this bus and it's just like, well, stood on the bus and you're like penned in like cattle. It's horrible. Compared to longboarding at least. Otherwise though, today so far, woke up. Hay fever wasn't too bad last night. It's actually quite cool. It's supposed to be raining today for the majority of the day. So it should do a lot to reduce the humidity and make it a lot more bearable, which is why I've got my hoodie on. But this morning, woke up, got ready, did my video, cool, it's about that really, and then headed off into town for work. Today at work, I'm not really sure what's going on. At some point, we're going to have the elusive Git training as we migrate away from whatever system they currently use. I don't really know. I know they've got plastic source control, they're moving to Git source control, and they're also moving whatever they used to have to organize tasks into TFS, Team Foundation Server, or Visual Studio Online. Don't actually know what it's called. One of those names is right. At some point we're going to be told that that's happening. I don't know when. We'll find out, I guess. But yeah, otherwise I've got things to get on with. Try and do more to force some tests and stuff. If we've got a group meeting to talk about TFS online, it might be a good time to push and move into more agile software development. I don't know. We're moving to TFS online, which has like the ability to use different frameworks like agile, like Scrum, Kanban, and another one. We're using the other one because it's most similar to Waterfall. So I'll make some noise about that and be like, yeah, but why? let's talk about why we're choosing that one. Is it because management don't like agile, or is it because we think it's the best tool for us? But otherwise, since it's the second week, I'm hoping that today will be a lot more like things will start getting better. It wasn't very good last week particularly, so I'm hoping that like I'll feel more at home. I can like get my nose stuck in with some code, can make my nose stuck in with some tests and stuff, and what have you. Failing that, lunchtime, I've brought my laptop with me, so I've got to do a little bit of work, have my lunch, walk over to Walco's, buy some sawdust for Graham. Living the dream, man. Just doing my usual walk around Cabot while I kill time before 10 to. I go in at 10 to, so I go in early, but I'm not going in at 1:45, that's way too early. Remind me from now on, when I want to leave for lunch at 1 o'clock, leave at like 5 to 1. It takes like fucking 10 minutes to get down the bloody lift, because every other floor everyone's trying to get on, and there's a lot of floors. But otherwise today I've actually been having good fun. I've been in the zone programming. I've been going through building this thing I'm supposed to build, and every time I touch something that means I can't test the thing I want to test, I refactor that and then test that. So I'm currently essentially refactoring the entire code base. I've moved a couple of their enumerations so that they are more easily found and testable and all that kind of malark. It's much nicer now. But that was like 500 files were referencing that thing. It was a bitch. Because it was a static enumeration within another class, and other classes were using it that weren't even using the class that it was stored within. So I fucking ripped it out, put it on its own. And I've just got to create like a wrapper, a helper class for this other thing, because like a lot of the reason why it's so hard to test is because the architecture's just shot. So I've been improving it basically. I'm having a whale, I'm loving it. Otherwise I am walking to go and meet Laura now for lunch. Well, hey, it's supposed to be raining today, and so far we're okay. I haven't had any fire training, so I'm literally just following these guys. These guys work on my floor. They should know where to go, right? I think either that or they're going to go to the shop. We all left safe from the fire alarm. The meeting point was around the corner. I hadn't had any fire brigade training. I haven't had my induction or anything like that, so I don't know whether it's probably not very good. That I'm sure there's like health and safety rules about that, but anyway. Either way, went back in, carried on doing some work. I've been having fun refactoring stuff, and I'm trying to refactor things as I go so that it's actually better designed. And I'm trying to redesign something, and it's like all internal protected classes, and they're like, internal is a keyword in C#, but then there's also, I don't know what you call a class that's inside a class, because I normally call that internal, wrongly. But there's like an internal protected abstract version of that within another class. You're like, what the fuck is this? So I'm going to have to question the designer of it and be like, look, does this need to be internal? Because short of reflection or shims, this is difficult to test, and it needs testing. It needs separating out. God damn it. So, well, I'll have that tomorrow. But otherwise, I've been having loads of fun today, refactoring stuff, making stuff better, and testing it. It's been great. Come back. Met Laura after work. Got on the bus back. We've just had dinner, and now we are writing our shopping list. Laura's deciding what she wants to bake, and then we're going to head off out to go shopping. We're running late. It's 7:25, bub. We should still be able to get back in a decent amount of time, though. Should be back before so we have like a nice hour or whatever. I've got productivity hour at 10:30 today. I can always postpone it if we push late, but gotta be busy, man. Got stuff to do. Gotta be back 8 today, you know. Everyone get excited. This bridge here was the reason the motorway was closed all weekend. And it looks shit. It's also part of the reason why the motorway is locked down to 50 for an entire fucking year. But you know, banter. Oh dear, they're closing more on that side. Happy days. Anyway, shopping. God, this camera's so shit. And we are back from shopping. It's bedtime. I'm about to go to bed. It's nearly 12. We got back at about 9:30. We'd finished packing up and stuff. It's quite a big shop this week because we had to get things like, well, we didn't have to, but we like bought new tea bags, all the exciting stuff, a new oil. So even though we've got fucking loads of oil, that's gonna last us years. Anyway, so we're back. Yeah, we had sat down, cup of tea and a donut while we watched the news and stuff until about 10:30 when Laura started getting ready for bed and I started moving into the office. At 9:45, Laura went to bed and I started productivity hour. Productivity hour is something I'm going to try and do every day, where it's like I go and sit in the office and I just zone in for an hour every day and just do something and get something done, which means no emails, no Twitter, no nothing like that, just productivity hour. Obviously I got up and had a drink and all that kind of stuff. I'm not like locked away, but I feel like I'm finding it quite easy to go, oh, there's no time to do things. And that is a way of me like selecting time out of the evening. Normally I'll do it between like 8 and 9, most likely. But obviously today we go shopping, so I pushed it later. But yes, I'm going to try and do that every single day and see if I can get some stuff done. I've been blogging, and I'm trying to think of a punchline. I think it's quite a good blog so far. I'm trying to think of a punchline for something. So I'll probably sleep on it and figure it out. But yeah, so I'm not like deciding what I'm going to devote every single thingy to. I'm not going to do like, today I'm going to do this, today I'm going to do that. I'm going to go like, I'm doing blog. I'm going to try and pick up YouTube stuff. I'm going to do blog, YouTube scripts, that kind of stuff. And then it's going to be things like programming, all that malarkey. I'm not just going to spend an hour a day on it, in theory, especially not at the weekend. What I might do is like times when Laura's going to bed early, like 10:30, and I'm not very tired, I may stay up a little bit later, but I may not do that every day. Who knows? Or I might start getting up earlier in the morning and doing things then, or sitting and working on my laptop during lunch. So I've got ambitions in life, and they're not going to build themselves. You've got to work hard. So that's what we're going to be doing. Otherwise, though, I'm going to bed. Tomorrow, I need to question talk to someone at work about the design of the system and ask if it's supposed to be like that, and then figure out why it's supposed to be like that, and then figure out a better way of doing it so that we can actually test things. I'm like a bulldog. I'm like a fucking dog with a bone in there. I'm like, fucking test. Test things. But it's good fun. Hopefully they appreciate it. It's a bit of a bitch to start with because I'm making you do work that you're not normally doing. I'm making you do more work than necessary. Well, than you normally do. But it's fucking necessary. Just do it. And so... yeah, I don't know if I said this, but I'm basically testing things to my standards. So I'm doing something now, but I'm testing it to what I consider to be minimal standards. Well, not even minimal, like ample standards, right? And if that means I get to something and I'm like, this thing starts talking to this thing. Oh, but this thing, like, to fucking create this thing, you've got to dive through 8 different fucking factories, go through this, not even factories, it's not that fucking clever. You have to go through 8 things of this, you have to have database connections, you have to do this, just to have this one little thing. And I'm like, fuck that. So I wrap it around with stuff and then rejig it all and make it all nice and different so that you can literally just test this one thing on its own instead of having to bloody initialize and fucking send nukes at Mars. So it's good fun. Yeah, so like as I work through, I'll like touch something, realise, right, okay, so how do I need to test this? I need to test this by doing this. So to do that, I need to pull these methods out into a helper file, so we can do that there. And then we need, this thing can basically become an interface, and then this thing can do that, and then that, and then just like re-architecture everything as I go. And that way, I'm slowly propagating into the code base rather than saying, bam, let's start again, you know? So there are like portions that I'm not writing tests for like code that I've basically not touched. I'm only testing things that I've changed, but it's good fun. I think it's working well. No one's complained yet. So tomorrow we have more of that, and I enjoyed it. I'm going to take headphones in tomorrow as well, my big like wireless headphones, because I've just been sat listening to listening to earphones today, and it was really uncomfortable, so fuck it. I don't see anyone else wearing headphones, but I'll just start the fucking trend. Cool. That's me. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That's about all. I'll catch you later.